It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome. You had a little hard time with the word 10?
He forgot. It's been a month since he's been here. He had to count backwards now that he's a college graduate.
He forgot to count backwards. Now he's a college graduate. That would be our own Abdul. Yeah.
Abdul is back. He's back. We got some new crew members moving things around. You notice I had to leave when you started moving things.
You know, it's funny. In life, you know what the biggest challenge of anything that has to be done is? Not doing it. Sitting there and saying, "Well, that's a tall order." So what? Just do it.
Yeah. But I
And
knew
then
you had
you
a way.
ran out of here
Well,
like
I knew
air
you
was
had
on
a way
fire.
you wanted to move it.
I had muscles. I had guys in
Today
here.
was the day to do it.
You had Caveman, you had IT, you had everybody in here. These guys, they lift.
Which is why they did not need me. So.
Oh no, we didn't want you to live. We wanted you to get the hell out the way.
So I did.
That's a good place for the piano, though.
You like it over there?
Yeah. Has good sound.
Now I got to tell you, it's bouncing off the walls this way, which I love. It sounds like there's actually an amplifier in this direction.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
we have
because
to
I was
thank.
sitting here, and it was beautiful, just what you're
You
saying.
were sitting there.
I was sitting here, and
Sitting there
Karen
having
did
a
a beautiful
split of tea.
job playing the piano.
So you
I
have
heard
to
every
thank our
note.
new show, Ariel the Connector, because she came in here like a connected hurricane a couple weeks ago and says, let's do this and let's do this. And at the same time, Josh and Jay said, let's do this. So we did this. And then she said, let's do that. And it's looking good, right?
Ariel, I'm going to tell you something. Payback is a because it has driven me insane. Then I get in trouble for not participating. I tried to participate in painting on Friday. I was told to go away. I even tried to take, she can't hear me.
She hears you.
I know she is. I tried to take the paintbrush away from Jay. She says, absolutely not. I got this. True?
I said you could paint.
No.
You didn't want to come and paint.
I wanted to, but you were so comfortable in the painting that I didn't want to disturb you. Where's Brianna?
Honestly, they must have been in a zone, because when you're excited and focused on something, you don't want nobody to bother you until you're done.
They were in the Danny zone. Let me
Karen
tell
was
you.
here with me on Saturday.
Who?
Karen.
Yeah, I know. Karen was here. You were here.
Brianna was here. G-Man was here.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur
Arthur was here.
was here. Yeah. You don't need me. I tried to come in here and I was told abruptly, get out of the way. Abruptly. I threw out garbage. Oh, you don't even know
Yes,
that.
you threw out the 4 mic boxes.
No, I threw out bags of garbage and the 4 mic boxes.
The bag
I
of
threw
garbage
lots
out
of-
there, those were the plants I had to put away.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Jay, he came in. He was here for
And
like
what did you
3
do? You
minutes,
took the dead
and he
plants-
left. I put them in a bag.
And you put them, no, somebody put them in the flower beds.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
There was a giant size
Iguana?
iguana about that size. Did you see it?
Inside the what? The flower
Outside where the plants are.
That's why the plants are
Oh.
fake.
Can you spank that iguana out of there? Yeah, remember they friend the iguana?
It was this big.
Can you scare it to get away from there? Because he poops on everything and it's a mess.
It's a
Well,
mess.
he's very large.
But
Yes, it's actually dinner for tonight.
wait till after Sally's show, and Josh and Jay are going to go run wires. Oh, we got Laura today, too.
You know what? Over here. See that? Because you throw too many things at me at one time. I got some other things I got to do. I got some exciting news. Was it there?
I don't see an iguana.
Okay, good.
It got warmer.
It got warmer. Sally thinks it's still cold out.
I
Look how big
apparently
Sally
did
looks
this
in her
morning.
jeans.
I
She's
got the
looking
wrong
so
weather
nice.
forecast.
No, I thought it was pretty warm out. Like I was like, huh, it's surprisingly warmer than usual today.
Yes, it's like,
Yeah.
now there's a blizzard of weather, Arctic coldness coming down. I think it's
Another one.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's going to be 30 degrees. Frozen orange juice.
Frozen iguanas. Anyone seen a frozen iguana lately?
Well, I think the one outside was because it fell.
No, but last week there was frost on the grass.
There was?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
where
how
you
about in
live.
Tampa?
That's where you
we
live.
were in Port St. Lucie, and I was like, why does the grass feel crunchy? And I took off my glove and I felt it. I'm like, what? There's frost on the
Yeah.
floor?
Crunchy grass.
Crunchy grass.
You know, my dad's been to Chicago recently. He said it's like, yeah, everything's frozen there.
It's frozen.
Well, it's frozen until March, April.
So, well, happy Monday to you. Welcome back. It's been a little bit since we've done a show. You have to come see the new decor of the studio.
Decor.
Moving things around, moving sets, painting Studio B, redoing that, getting a whole new look.
Still not finished.
Not yet. It'll be finished by the end of the week.
We'll see. We got new signs, new stuff going up. The guys helped me put the piano in a different location. Now, I was told that if I did that, I was going to get an addition to the family.
No, you were told that maybe.
No,
I
you
don't
told
know.
me I was going to.
Oh, yeah. Jay, you know how you're +1? He's 0-3. That's Freddie's new nickname.
That's okay.
We're going for
0-3 + 1
0-4.
is like
We're
1
going
for
for
4.
0-4.
1 for 4 puts you in the
Tomorrow
Hall of
night,
Fame.
Jay, he may be 0-4. Watching the football games this weekend?
I watched them on my phone. I got 3 wins and 1 loss. I did not believe that the Chargers would lose to the Texans of all teams.
Texans are going on, and the Eagles did well. Josh is not here.
Eagles did well. They didn't have.
And Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay lost to Washington with a ding, a clunker at the end of the game. That was hilarious. But the next set of games, on Saturday and Sunday of next week, of this coming week, those are the games. Because those are going to be good games.
How many games are we down to? 2?
4.
We're down to 4 games?
5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, February.
How
4
many games are we down
4
to?
games. 4 games.
She's our fact checker over there. Natalia is new to the studio. We call her Tan. She is our new fact checker.
I knew her as 10. That's not her name?
That's her nickname.
Oh.
So she's going to be our sit there, be our fact checker to see what's going on in the news.
She's a fact checker?
I have to tell you what's going on in California, though. Our hearts and
Oh,
prayers.
stop. I can't watch that anymore.
Oh my gosh, what is going on out there? The devastation.
It looks like a freaking hurricane bomb went off.
Everything. It's
Nothing's
just total
there.
ground zero devastation.
Wow. You know, I want to thank Canada and Mexico for sending their firefighters, their planes and trains and everything that they could send out to help. You know, you should be careful what you say about Canada and Mexico because no matter what's going on, they sent a lot of people. Also, the country of Ukraine has offered 150 of their firefighters. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Of their firefighters, really? Don't they have enough to deal with there? I mean, this is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. But those fires, my goodness gracious. Now they're thinking that a electrical thing exploded and started one of the fires. Then they caught a guy
They
who
arrested
started
someone.
one.
I
Which
think
I don't
they arrested
understand
somebody,
that.
yeah.
And they still don't know how the Palisades one started.
I just cannot even believe. It's just like this huge, giant tinderbox. And then you see one house standing and then everything else around it. And even if you live in that house, how do you go back to that house?
Well, you got to go back because you got to clean up and start all over again.
But everyone else who's lost everything, there's nothing to clean up. There's nothing to do. And then I saw 500,000 homes without insurance because they dropped policies, which means if there was no insurance, there's no money to rebuild. You're just
Terrible.
out of everything. You've lost all your property. Thankfully, hopefully, you've saved lives, but people lost their lives. They couldn't get out. Handicapped children, pets, and now no insurance, nothing. How do you rebuild
Someone
from
had
that?
a safe, they said was fireproof, but they went back. The safe was all burned. Everything
was
in it. He had
burned, too.
jewelry. He said,
It was
from his
so
grandmother.
hot. One of the CBS ladies was covering the story, and she ran into her cousin. That he hadn't seen him in years, and they said, "Oh my God!" And she said, "It's me." And they went back and forth, and they had a reunion at the house that burned down,
Oh.
and she was covering it. and she could not believe the devastation that happened. She found her family member, which is happening. Spider Lady, the one that I used to do with back at Beasley, she lives in California. I haven't heard from her.
Who's Spider Lady?
Roseanne.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard from her. A few people that I know in California, I haven't heard from. The lady that did the show here, she's okay. She marked it, she's okay. But
Sandy, who's been on my show, you know Sandy,
she goes to California.
Yes, her daughter and son-in-law, they had to evacuate. They were in a hotel and they were told they had to go back because there was a lot of looting in that area. It's quite a nice area. They go back and they settled in and then they had to get out again. So I don't know where they are right now.
The looting is ridiculous. Did you see the guy
And
they
he's
caught?
an executive for one of the big movie houses.
Yes, he's a big producer,
You see the guy they caught with one of the jackets that the firefighters use, and he was robbing houses and they caught him. How, I mean, come on, man.
Yes.
How can you do that?
I just don't understand. You know, we talk all the time. Look at this. Wow.
Terrible.
Look at the size of that one on the bottom left. That is unbelievable.
All the way
big.
to like Malibu. Wow.
And the mayor and all the politicians, they're so overwhelmed, and they asked to stop pointing fingers because it's an emergency. I think they got now 2,500. I don't understand why they wait until just send the military, send everybody there to stop this thing is out of control.
They're saying the fire hydrants were empty. I mean, it's just one thing after another. It's been, I can't say a mistake because maybe they used the water from the fire. I thought, to me, a fire hydrant was pulling the water, obviously, from underground. So I don't understand how. No, they're
reservoir.
Wherever they're pulling water from someplace. So how can it be empty?
It doesn't matter. When you have 90, 100 mile an hour winds, you're not going to stop this fire. You're not. 100 mile an hour winds creates fire tornadoes.
Okay, did you remember the show we did with Helen on Tuesday?
Yes.
And Helen said, as we were finishing,
I remember.
there are going to be more fires the way the planets are in alignment. And Tuesday night, I texted her and I said to her, are you kidding me? She said, it's all in the planets.
Well, all I know is that the fire is completely out of control. The rebuilding, I can't even start yet because they don't know. They got some bad weather coming in again. I think it's tomorrow or Wednesday. 70 mile an hour winds again.
But this happened in Hawaii not that long ago.
True.
Winds are devastating, and then it hasn't rained there, so it's a tinderbox, so everything burns. You know, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Because there's enough blame to go around. Right now, it isn't about blame. It's about doing what we can. I think the Red Cross is set up that everybody's pouring stuff in there. They were shocked to see all the foods and everything that's coming in there. There are trucks that are going there from Arizona. The problem is that where do you go? Those fires now will be going north because everything south to
But they
the
seem to
ocean
start
is
up
gone.
again where it's happened, and then it's somewhere in that area where it still starts up again.
It's
somewhere.
crazy.
It's
Canada
very
sending
sad.
some big planes.
I mean, schools, businesses, home, everything, it's just gone.
The whole life has actually, you think the kids when they go to school and their friends in those neighborhoods, apparently they did all know they were very close-knit, these neighborhoods.
Is Kendra still in California or is she in?
I don't know. We should reach
gotta-
out to her
we gotta reach
and
out
see
for
what's
her.
going on.
All right.
But wow, what a weekend with all of that. So more to come. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Sally and Karen, see what's going on in our interstellar galaxy. Karen would be playing music, but we're in the middle of rehooking up our sound system. So we're going to enjoy Karen. She's going to chit-chat with us, the lady in the polka dots, and we introduce our new crew to see what's going on. Hot topics. What'd you come up with? Just grab that mic next to you.
My bad. So, I'm just kind of scrolling through USA Today and all those like news websites right now. Not really finding anything interesting. Like as of recently, there's a Walmart recall on chicken broth.
Oh.
Not sure how far
you
we
go.
can go with that. But there's other topics like Inauguration Day this year is on the same day as Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about that then.
Yeah.
All right, more to come. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions is proud to announce a collaboration with ABC WPBF, producing high-quality commercials for clients in Palm Beach County. This partnership will leverage Amp Media's creative expertise and video production capabilities with ABC's extensive reach and community connections to deliver top-notch advertising solutions. Contact Amp Media Productions today to amplify your impact in business on ABC WPBF.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher service today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Breaking news, aliens have finally made contact with.
Welcome to the Amp Media Studios here in beautiful downtown Boca Raton.
In conjunction with True Oldies Radio South Florida, Amp Media Productions is here to help amplify your impact in business and to bring greater awareness to our community. Give us a call, 866-224-5422. We'll see you soon at the cafe.
And like I always say, come on down and visit us and don't be late.
Anna!
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink, and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Are you turning 65 this year or retiring and leaving employer coverage? It's your time to navigate the Medicare enrollment process. You have guaranteed issue in this time period. There is no medical underwriting. Everyone has unique needs within the standard steps of the enrollment process. The Marvelisms Medicare can walk you through the best options for your needs. For more information, call Claire Goyette at 561-703-7463 or absolutebestins.com/Claire-Goyette.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
For free.
432. We're back.
All right, you want to see what's happening in the news?
Okay.
Apparently there's a recall on chicken broth at Walmart.
Well, you don't buy chicken broth from Barnard. I do.
That is true.
So I may have to bring it back.
That is true. All right, let's introduce our new producer. She's going to grab her mic. We've got Natalia, a.k.a. Tan, from Lynn University, new to the studio, so welcome.
Good morning, good morning.
Good, how are you
good
doing?
Good afternoon at this point.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock.
Yep.
All right, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am a student with the Watson Institute at Lynn University. It's kind of like an accelerator program coming from the corporate side over in Colorado. We do social impact and entrepreneurship. So every week we'll get entrepreneurs from the local area coming in to talk to us about their businesses and their business ventures. Oftentimes in class we'll look into different social impact ventures, and it's just really interesting to kind of know all aspects of businesses and how to lead a sustainable lifestyle and profit off of that. So,
what brings you to the world of production?
World of production, really just a general interest, you know. I always really liked just making little videos at home. You'd always like have like those home videos, have a ton of them with my siblings, and just kind of wanted to like take that, get some experience in it, maybe profit off of it one day, who knows, but I just have fun with it. I feel like that's worth it.
You tell me both your parents are in the military, right? Dad's retired.
Yep.
So you have a lot of world experience of traveling.
Yes, I do. It's tough, honestly. It's restarting every 3 years. It's a constant cycle, but it is kind of teaches you how to adapt, how to really like manage your time well, and also just to get comfortable with every situation, get comfortable with all sides of people. It's a big culture shock all the way around because I was raised Jamaican. My family's from Jamaica. So going all over the East Coast and Cuba is, you know, get to see everything and everyone.
You lived in Cuba also?
Yep, for a good 3 years.
3 years.
Yep, went to all of middle school there. Pretty formative years, so 10 to 13.
And then you came to Florida?
Yes. Came to Florida, North Florida, stayed in Jacksonville up until I was 16, and then my senior year moved down to South Florida, and I settled here. Love it down here. Love the weather. It's terrible up in Jacksonville. Super cold.
What have you learned about people?
About people, let me find some nice things I learned about people. So,
nice things are good.
Really, it's just there's a lot of like different cultural respects in different parts of especially different parts of Florida. This difference between North and South Florida is really interesting. I came down to South Florida my senior year, like I said, and I got Jewish holidays off. We never got Jewish holidays off up there, and I had a ton of Jewish friends, and they would like come to my house and be like, hey, I'm actually going to be missing school because we have to go celebrate Rosh Hashanah. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Wish that we could like get school off of that. I'll let you know what happens in class since you won't be there. But down here, you know, you get to take the time to actually celebrate with your family, not feel like you're falling behind on anything. So
that's true.
That's cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
And
welcome.
I don't know. North Florida, I just don't like it.
I used to get a ton of time off at NYU for Rosh Hashanah, all the Jewish holidays. It was craziness. December was like...
But I guess northern Florida is different.
Yep.
Than South Florida.
There's 4 seasons in northern Florida, right?
I could really only recognize 2, but I feel like that's a lot more than down here.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
She's like, Abdullah, it's either hot or cold. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, when it gets very cold, I think I'm back in New York.
But last week you said something interesting about time management, because you get a lot of things done. Do you remember what you told me?
And I'm trying to remember.
It was something to the fact that you have to make the most of your time.
Oh yeah, I had to make the most of my time where I am because at some point in time I'm going to be getting out of there. So that was mindset that I carried all throughout since I had to finish middle school in one place, then go to high school in another place, and then go to college in another place. So I really just tried to like wrap everything up, make the most of my time at each school, make the most of the experiences I could get there, and then, you know, carry on to the next step.
Which I thought, for your age, was amazingly refreshing.
Well, you know, things have changed. And I'm glad that you said that because the way things are right now, time is of the essence. Urgency is the difference between making a living and not making a living. So whatever you decide to go into, the faster you recognize change, the faster things are. I look at the NFL now, the way they play the game. It is 100 times faster.
Really?
Business, 100 times faster. Everybody wants to be a superstar in 5.3 seconds. Everybody wants an ROI that's going to give you thousands and thousands of dollars in 30 seconds. None of that happens. Even the commercials that you watch, if you watch television, streaming, the commercials have changed. Everything has changed. So I'm glad you said that you're going to be faster.
Yeah.
To recognize.
Definitely have to, honestly.
Because the way you were brought up, you have 3 years to make your friends, do what you got to do, get your work done, build relationships before you move on.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you still have your friend connections from, like, in different parts of the world?
I mean, unfortunately, not as many as I would like to, but I am still familiar with some friends from Cuba, and, you know, we all had limited time there, whether we were there for military reasons or as contractors. So now, as of this year, all of us have moved up to America, and I don't really know anybody down there that's left, but, you know, it's still nice to know people for that long, because oftentimes you don't get the chance to, especially being, like, so young, moving around. It's not like I have a phone, so you kind of, like, get our contact information before we left.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
No. Mm-mm.
It's so great, because I think when we live in one place for so long, we become complacent and say the mañana syndrome. I'll do them tomorrow. It's okay, we do it tomorrow.
How
I
do you
don't
say
need to.
mañana in Yiddish?
I don't know.
Hebrew.
I don't know.
How many languages you guys got?
I don't know. I have one. I speak English.
Yeah, but there's other languages.
Yes, there's Hebrew. There's a lot. I just don't know them.
I gotta find out what they are.
Okay.
Omani?
'Cause I want to know if it translates from
Sorry,
mañana
right, yeah.
to zim whatever.
Mañana syndrome. I don't know. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
So I think if when she's here, she can be like our fact checker.
But you better hurry up because she'll probably be going somewhere in about 30 seconds.
Well, she's at Lynn, so I think she's here for a little while.
Yeah, I'm here for a good,
I guess he's on his phone.
good semester.
A good semester.
A good semester.
A good semester. That's what I'm saying. She's out of here
We
after the
got
semester.
we get about 3 months out of her, so we got a lot to do.
Do you think you'll be staying in Florida once you graduate and?
I mean, I can't really see myself living anywhere else. So, yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
So out of all the places you've been, seems like you like here.
It's the warmest here. Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Pretty amazing. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so what do you have in the news you told us you were looking at?
Man, I lost what I was looking at. My bad. We were actually just talking about National Rubber Duck Day. a little bit
National
ago.
Rubber Duck Day. How did
We
it
had
get
mentioned it earlier. Yeah.
So you know the story behind our rubber ducks? Because we've had a lot of them.
No, I do not.
I think
Watch
the Duck
this.
Derby gave us all these little rubber ducks.
Somebody sends us a box.
A box of these little rubber ducks.
Every kind of rubber duck you could think
They
of.
start off as the little ones that are probably floating around here also, because they were doing the Duck Derby, and they were down in Fort Lauderdale for kids in distress, I believe it is, and you bid for a duck, and the ducks, they release the ducks into the intercoastal, and the duck that goes wherever it goes the furthest, and they
Wins.
pick up the number and it wins. So they brought us a case of like the little ducks that are sitting next to Arthur. That's probably an OG duck. And then it grew, and then when Freddie and I were doing our shows, I would sit here, and he might sit like where that camera is. So to get his attention, like I try to do now, because he doesn't pay so much attention. Oh, and 3. I would take a duck and I would throw it at him, and I'd say, "Duck," and he'd either duck or he'd get hit with a duck.
I think they waddled all the way out of here.
So tell her what happened.
So one day, I guess someone
They're
was
in
watching our
hibernation.
show. An attorney was watching the show and called Freddie and told him that he could sue me for abuse,
Assault.
assault, for throwing the ducks
He
at
wanted
him.
to know if I wanted to prosecute.
What?
So there were little ducks flying all over our old studio, and then people would buy us ducks and send us cases of ducks and different kinds of ducks, which is how the ducks have started.
Well, there was a group of them here, and they just went into hibernation, obviously.
I know, I
Isn't
don't
that
have
right?
all our ducks.
And I had flinches because of being
And the ducks turned
duck-laced.
into swans, and the swans turned into unicorns, and it's kind of grown.
As you can see, there's a unicorn behind me.
So, welcome to that is our National Duck Day story.
I was gonna tell you guys, what do you think about that student that got 100% on his SATs, ACTs, and all? They had it on the news the other day.
I got a friend of mine. I got 2 friends of mine. They got 100%. Doogie Howser, we call them. They got 100%.
But how can you? You don't know what's on
answered
that test.
He answered every question. When you meet this guy, you'll know why. This guy is brilliant. Brilliant. And he got everything right. And then I know another kid that got everything right.
So you think he's part alien, part human?
Well, having said that, Aldo, any test he took, he used to make a mistake on purpose.
Okay.
Because he didn't want
Okay. We're going to go there in a
Well,
second.
you know I had to go there.
Before we go there, because Enrique Suave has to go.
We got to move the camera first.
No, there's a camera on him.
Oh, okay.
You got a camera on Enrique, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Enrique Suave, who is in charge of our IT division, had an interesting meeting with Lights in the Night.
Oh, nice.
Who I got a lot of feedback from the last show that we did.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to pitch a new co-host. Dr. Stacy's going to be, Musselman is going to be his co-host.
Nice.
They want to see how that works out. But some of the things that he talked about with Russ was about IT and about websites, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what are we doing with websites?
Basically, websites, with websites, you're able to have like more traffic to your business. You know, obviously like word of mouth and like in-person stuff is really good. But if you want like everyone in the world to see, online is going to be the place to be. And that's why you need a website for like business, getting something out there, like a statement or something like that, or promoting something, like a website online. That would be the way to go.
It's interesting because I left them there talking to one another, and they started, and then Russ was telling them what he wanted, correct?
Yes.
Every time I went in there, you weren't even pitching him anymore. He was pitching you, I need this, and I need this, and I need this. That apparently his other website wasn't doing it for him.
Yes. He was also talking about, because he has his one site, the Lights of the Night one, and then he was also talking about like a foundation. He has already a foundation. He was talking about another foundation, so he was talking to us about that. Also maybe like changes on his website, keep it up with like maintenance and all that, new content.
Now, one of the things that I found out is that people do websites, and then the website does not do what you need it to do. And you're stuck with it. So then you start bending stuff in there. You start putting things in there that are irrelevant, or it doesn't work, or it breaks. And then you get frustrated and you forget about the site, which is what's happened to us over and over again. And we're getting into the website business with these guys where they're going to go in, they're going to maintain it. And if it needs adjustments and changes, they're willing to do that as well. Because you have to have somebody on call. That's what Geo does for a living. Because NASA changes every day what they do. So what they were doing yesterday may not work for today. So he needs to change it. And that's what he was talking about, trying to get the guys to understand you got to go with the flow. Really exciting news, though, that Russ got so into it.
Yeah, I think we established like a pretty good connection, got some talks going, and we're going to keep following up with them.
What are some of the key points you want to put in the website?
Well, for the foundation website, it would be like what it's about. It's about, like Black, Hispanic, Asian American, like spreading awareness to that. So that would be like obviously the main key point of that. But if you wanted like something with the alien website, it would be more like adding new content, maybe like a new story that came out or something new that recently happened. Just adding it on there and spreading awareness like that.
Now, is he contracting you for a website for the not-for-profit or for the aliens?
Right now, we are not sure about that. We still have to talk to him about that. It could be for both, though.
He'll be in tomorrow. We'll talk to him.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that the alien piece, as Sally will tell you, is catching fire because Trump is coming in, and he's declared that there are all sorts of things that he wants to tell the world about. But there's also technology that we have, things that we're getting from somewhere. Somewhere we're getting this technology, light bulbs included. So it's interesting what he's going to do with this website, because you don't build a website today. You build it so that you can use it tomorrow and beyond, like Star Trek.
Well, you know that rocket did not take off from Port Canaveral today.
To save
Jeff
those
Bezos
people?
did not. What do you mean to save the people?
Isn't that going to get the astronauts up there?
No, this was Bezos was supposed to be taking off. Maybe you can find it, Natalia, from Port Canaveral. You have it?
It was a busted part.
You have the mic?
Something broke.
What, they found out like the last second or something?
I don't know.
10 seconds, I
The
think.
story just got uploaded an hour ago. What it's saying is that it was supposed to blast off before dawn with a prototype satellite from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. But they had to deal with an unspecified rocket issue in the final minutes, so I guess it was pretty last minute, yeah.
It was. Otherwise, that thing would go kaplunk. But that one
Interesting.
doesn't have people on it.
No, that's just a rocket.
So they waited to see if they could rectify it.
It's during
But
the
anyway,
countdown,
you can
too.
call us to get more information on website.
Very cool, and you're going to maintain it. And what are some of the key points that you think people should have in a website?
Just what the business or what you're trying to promote is about, and about like the people that own the business, the team and all that. I think those are like two very, very key points. But it's mostly like the theme also that brings in the viewers and like, you know, customers or people that watch like a show or like a foundation, you know, just something to go with the theme. So you have to make a theme, and it brings in, that's another key point I feel like also.
Well, people are so locked in on viewership, right? So locked in. They think that because you get 3.3 million viewers that you're going to make more sales. Case in point, Valerie, with Freddie acting like a knucklehead, got 3.3 million views on TikTok. 3.3. Now, she has a story in there. She does very, very well, but she's been doing it for years. If that's what you want, you got to be able to reach people a certain way. And I think that we're going to find out just how to be clever with a website, how to add things that will bring it forward. That's one of the reasons I asked you to do some of the components in there, because we're going to be using those components differently. See, she's looking at me like I got 3 heads.
No.
But the object of the game is I may ask you for something that's completely absurd until you use it, and then all of a sudden it's not absurd anymore.
Yeah, like, you know, you have the vision, obviously, and like the IT or the website maker is supposed to make that like a reality.
That's right. And that's what this whole lesson is about. And Licorice doesn't understand that when he thinks that it's resolved, okay, we finished it. No, you didn't. I got another turn for you. I got another turn for you. Because I have to constantly keep changing it to make sure that we know anything comes your way is going to be taken care of. And there's a reason for it. And the next segment after we finish with the ladies, I'm going to bring out the 2 salespeople and put them out here as well. Because we got some exciting news that we're trying to do. We were in meetings all morning. And there's 127 different things going on at one time. Look at her face. See her face?
Do you have to have a mission statement in your websites for...
Not for profits, sure.
I'm not sure, honestly. It's more about, I'm assuming like you should have a mission statement, obviously, to let everyone know what it's about.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know too much about like for-profits, like myself. But obviously, I learned that as the way to go. But obviously, like you want, if like a mission statement is like a about, definitely need like an about. So I would say yes.
I didn't know anything about not-for-profits until I met this one. And we've gone to school together. And she knows about it a whole lot more than I do because I break the rules all the time. And her and Gio says, you can't do that. I'm going to get a shirt that says, they say I can't. Because half of the things I want to do, I can't do.
I was going to say 0-3 on the back. Yeah. You know, there's in Jersey, there's a back. The front's going to say, I can't. The back's going to say 0-3.
I'm not 0-3. If that's true, I'm going to add up all your O's.
X's and O's.
Plenty of O's. But the object of the game is that you have to have adjustment. And it's funny because Tan is here today. She is an adjustment. The way she thinks is an adjustment because she's had to move every 3 years, and you got to make adjustments. Our business now has shrunk where your adjustments happen every 3 months. And if you don't believe me, case in point, come into studio. Not only is all this wacky stuff going on at the same time, but we're going to be opening up some new places outside of here that's going to blow your mind on how they're going to be used.
A lot of cool stuff. All right. You can contact us for more information on building a website, a landing page, more fresh news content coming your way. We're going to take a quick break, come back, talk to Sally, see what she's got happening, because Call Me Zena is today at 2:30. So more to come. Stay tuned, and we will be right back. Ant Media Futures Foundation is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to providing college students with immersive opportunities in media production, marketing, business skills, and communication.
Interns will learn professional workflow skills in editing, video and radio broadcasting, public relations, digital media, graphic curriculum, and access to equipment to make a positive impact.
Ant Media Productions is a full-service production house with a variety of shows ranging from the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a very busy Wednesday.
Sarah Spiritual.
Right here on the Oldies station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Call Me Zena.
by example, and that's what I try to do all the time, to teach by example.
Artist Loft.
Using that term more. Yeah, lofties, yeah.
And Gypsy Soul.
They love music. It's like their favorite thing to go to.
I teach like preschool up to 12th grade.
Yeah, nice.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Amp Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our shows.
I want to be a first class champagne, please.
Giant comfort.
That's good. We offer opportunities to excel in the field of TV film production, social media management, video editing, set design, graphic design, sound engineering, journalism, and many more useful tools to help you land a career in the media business.
To volunteer or be a part of our team, or to make a donation of any size, please visit us at ampfutures.org. Help us to empower college students to create a positive impact with immersive hands-on experiences in media production. Help us amplify the future.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40+ works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Your True Oldies Listener's Guide. Listening in the Palm Beaches? That's 95.9 FM. On the Treasure Coast? You want 106.9 FM. In Boca? It's 95.3 FM. We've got Fort Lauderdale and Broward County covered with 96.9 FM. And you can always hear us anywhere at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
Lots of things, lots of people texting you. All right, you
There's
ready?
a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Ready to get into this? Are we going to, let's go talk to Sally before we head over to the other side. Yes?
Do we have to?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, because I could go to the other side.
I think you are the other side.
I am on the other side.
No, I think you are the other side.
Come to me, go to the other side. Yes.
So
Any
Sally,
questions.
So Sally watched the movie that I asked her to watch with Steve about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago.
Interstellar, right?
Interstellar, yes.
Now, you had never seen it before.
Never seen it. In fact, we were discussing that because it's such a good movie, and it came out, when did it come out? In 2014.
That was 10, well, I guess technically 11 years ago, but still 10 years ago. Can you believe that there used to be a time when we used to be going, 2014 was so new, but now...
Well, can you believe that when I first saw that movie...
You should get a handheld mic.
Yeah, go get a handheld if you're going to talk.
Oh, okay.
And that movie I saw, and I didn't understand it back in the day. And now I watched it, and what she says, and I'm smacking Linda. I says, I can't believe it. She says, you're going to have to stop hitting me. I said, but this is what Sally was talking about. How the fifth and the third dimension meet. It's craziness.
He said the same thing to me. He said, had he have watched it then, didn't you? Said that, but because we've been talking so much about it, that he understood a lot. I'm talking for Steve. I shouldn't do that.
What's the third dimension and what's... No, that's for you,
Okay.
Abdullah.
Oh,
you can give it to
sorry.
Steve, too. Give Steve one and you keep one.
Okay.
All right, go back
But yeah,
that
as
way.
I was saying, yeah, can you believe there was once a time when like 2014 was like new?
But the concept was so new that people would look at you. I saw the movie before because I remember the way the room looked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? And then how you're, it's funny. I got to tell you, when I first met you 10 years ago, I always said to you that things happen at a certain time. That's why you can see the future. Like I can see things that happen because I've been there. That's fifth dimension. And I'm living in the third dimension. The thing I don't understand is how you're able to do it. He used the watch as Morse code. This is amazing. If you think about it, whoever wrote this
Once
movie
you
is
begin
brilliant.
to open your mind to it, and that's what I was telling Steve yesterday, well, you begin to understand more because your mind is open. And you see things, and you say, "That's incredible," but then you believe that it can happen. And I was just telling them about that piece of paper on the movie. I said,
But you've never seen the movie.
No, but
But you have described the movie.
Yes.
Well, how the hell did you do that?
Let me guess.
Because okay, let him tell me.
She's living the movie. Abdullah, give that mic to Steve, please.
Oh,
And
Steve.
you get another one.
That's Steve.
Oh, okay.
And then you go get another one.
He can tell me better, maybe.
We got to get Steve a mic. So what do you think, Sally?
You have to give me the question again.
How is it that you knew what that movie, did you write the movie?
No, but the person that wrote it, I'm in tune with. Actually, that's quite a good answer because we are in tune. Once you open up to this, and let's do the show maybe about this, your vibration.
No, we're not doing the show about this.
She didn't write it. She communicated telepathically with the writer.
It's vibrational energy about the future.
wow.
It's a very good. Let me just say this, and I'm going to not say anymore because we can talk about it on my show. When someone comes up with an invention and they think they're the only one, a fabulous invention, okay, then someone on the other side of the world at the same time comes up with the same invention. Whatever it is, I mean, it could be anything, and they'll say, but that was my invention. But that person also, at the same time, got the same idea. That's basically what this is all about.
How do people have that vision?
That's what I asked her.
Yeah, but that's a good.
But she won't give me an answer
No,
because I gotta listen to
can.
her
How
show.
do they get the vision? We'll do it on my show because I'm taking
Yeah,
up
we'll do it on
everybody's
your show.
time.
Now, a black hole, the way it's described in the movie, is to take a piece of paper
Yeah, that's what
and
I
you
was
fold it
telling
into
Steve.
into a tunnel.
That's right.
And then they punched a hole through it to circumvent the black hole. It's what they did in the movie.
Well, I surprised myself because I had said just 2 seconds before they said that on the movie, that's how you can do it, because that's how you can travel from one place to
It's
another.
just theory.
It's not theory. I'll let
It
him
is.
talk.
It is theory.
A fun fact about that scene in Interstellar.
Hold your mic straight.
It's actually, that scene is probably potentially a reference to the movie Event Horizon, where they actually had a similar explanation of like how black holes work, even everything right down to the folding for the paper and poking holes. In case if you're wondering, Event Horizon is kind of a horror movie from the 90s where they discover where basically a bunch of crew members accidentally opened the portal to hell on a spaceship.
But this is saying that
Wow.
Einstein's
theory,
Einstein's theory of energy can never be, can never be displaced. Energy can never be
Can
displaced.
be destroyed, right?
So it
It's
cannot
hard
be
to
destroyed.
prove these things, Freddie, and I totally understand people saying that. It is very. I also say I can't prove it. What I'm saying.
But nobody can.
Yes, there.
Nobody can
scientists
prove
today,
this theory. No, they can't.
They can't prove it
Because you
completely.
can't punch a hole in a black. We've never been in a black
But
hole.
how? Okay, then how did I know I'm not
I don't
saying
know.
me.
That's my question to you.
Okay.
But I did.
I have a
always
question.
seem to have proof because Steve was sitting there when I
Steve ain't the proof.
No.
He's just married to you.
Validation. I spoke about that too.
Him going like this is not proof.
Freddie, I spoke
Come
about
on.
it a minute before it
You have
came
to
on.
really-
I didn't know that was the next scene. I've never seen that movie.
I know that.
So somewhere, even on the movie,
So
I
you
got
think
that
that because
vibration.
you saw it,
Karen's got a
you were there?
question.
I've got a question. So I asked this to Sally last time I was here too. Back in the day, there's the emerald tablets that were written. There was, Noah's Ark, and there was all the Bible, all these things that back in the day, there was a genius behind all those things. Nowadays, we learn from those geniuses from the past, but nowadays you have geniuses in your present. So who is the director? Who's the right screenwriter? Who gives the message right?
They're getting it.
I think that's a question of religion, right? Because Noah's Ark and all of that in the Bible, that's people who may believe in God or may believe in Jesus or may believe in a different type of God.
But I'm talking how we go back to like Albert Einstein where he said E equals MC squared.
Well, let's start with him.
Beethoven had no
Let's start with
ears and
Einstein
played-
for the point of this conversation.
Okay.
He was on such a different planet. His mind worked such a different way that if even you asked him, he would laugh at you and say, because it's right in front of you. You see, the problem is that you can't see the answers, or maybe you can. And the difference is that you cannot put your finger on a solution that you can't see. That's the problem.
So it's up
Scientists
to people
do that.
No, scientists don't do that. They only what they can prove is what they believe in.
But physics, the gravity.
These are laws of relativity and things of that nature. They try to implement that in their teachings, but if it doesn't work, they go, it doesn't work.
But you always have the people that are intrigued in knowing what's going to happen, like the next natural disaster, the next volcano
But
eruption.
curiosity is not science. Curiosity is not faith. Faith and science, they go in this direction against each other because the Bible is the book that says the way man was created. Then now you have other people that say man was created a different way.
Can I expand this conversation? Where do the psychological sciences come into this? The
Well-
study of sociology and why people act the way they do, why society
Because
trends.
there's money in it, honey.
Oh, so you think it's all business?
It's all about business. If you can, suppose that you work for the FBI, and we got a mass kill over here, and I hire you to figure him out, and you've never met him. You've seen all the shows that do it. It's
CSI,
because he was brought up in a different social aspect, and you have to figure out how to do this thing. Movies, books, all sorts of things are written on sociology. It is a fantastic science. I took sociology in college. It ain't like it is now. Now it explains the world, why Putin is the way he is. His psychology, his point of view of life, the point of view of life. How can a mass murderer not see life the way we see
Well,
it?
it's a study of people, but this is different. This is a study. This is not a study of. These are being in different
Actually, it's
dimensions.
really not. Yes, it isn't even a study
we're dealing
because you
with some,
can't study this.
esoteric concepts here.
But how do you know it's not a study of?
Well, you can study it. You can listen to.
I'm going to tell you what I told you last week. On Mars, we are the aliens. All the Martians that live there look at us and say, "Oh, we got aliens."
Well, that's a very interesting perception.
So
because
it depends. Is
where
it the
you're living
yin
and where
or
you
is it
are.
the yang? Now, it depends
Yes,
on your point of view.
Exactly. But your point of view can change over time because you
Could
hear
change in a
some-
minute.
That's what I mean. So if you hear something, what it's doing, and the most important thing that it's doing to people that want to understand this, is it's opening your mind.
Is educating.
It's educating, and it's opening you up to a whole new way of maybe thinking, no matter what it is. If it's something out of the box, so to speak, as they say that, then your mind is thinking, find it interesting first. You have to find it interesting because you're not going to, you're not going to want to follow through with it.
I don't know how you can understand it. To me, it's like whole nother level.
Well, let me ask you.
Dawn, you do understand this.
she
And your mind has
understands it
opened
in
up a
a
lot.
different sphere. Let me ask you a question. You ever heard the saying that math is exact?
Yes.
Because you can be a little bit pregnant, right?
Right.
Cannot be a little bit pregnant. Math is an exact science. So they do all these formulas to make the theory exact. So this is why I tell Sally, we can't go into a black hole because we've never done it. Theoretically,
well, it
you
has
can.
been done, and that's I don't know enough about that to discuss it, but I know it's been done, and they can travel in time much quicker than you think it's going to take to get to these places. The
Well, it's
planets.
true because
Well,
yeah.
There's like Don had read Frank Ruffalo's books, and Frank Ruffalo wrote about events that are happening now in a book that
He's from another
dimension.
So how do
That's interesting.
each
The question here is
person?
How do I understand?
Okay,
a lot
let me
of what
ask you a
Frank's-
question. It takes 10 years for a planet to travel, for Saturn to travel around the sun. It takes 10 years, right? You ready?
I'm ready.
So you live on Saturn, which you can't because it's a gas, but let's say you could. You live on
I write
Saturn,
about it.
and I live here. You, the human being, live on Saturn.
Okay.
So every 10 years you have a birthday.
Damn, I won't get presents every year.
So think about it. Are you going to live longer, or are you just going to be younger when you die
It depends
in numbers?
well, no, because you do live longer in a lot of these planets.
Hold on. I want you to think before you answer
Okay,
that.
okay.
Because the movie illustrated that you didn't age because you were
That's
in another
right.
dimension. The fifth dimension, you don't age.
And that's correct.
You age while the
Slower,
planet.
you age, but you
Because the planets went around the sun. It
So
took
1
longer.
year
But
is
you
really
age
10.
much slower. You still age. We still have the same.
His
So
daughter,
you would be like 6.
his daughter died. His
Well, he
daughter
was
was
still the same.
6 or 8. She died, and he was still a young man in his 40s
But
when
this
he
is
came
true.
back.
I believe this was on fact.
No, you
This is-
believe that it's true. There is no proof to
Okay,
it.
how do I then? Just use me. I certainly don't know.
You're
everything.
190, I know.
No, it's not so much with age. What Frank writes about, like how the earth was formed and the settlers, let's say, from thousands and thousands of years ago. His story and other ones I hear, I know. I didn't hear it from Frank, and I didn't hear it from what I might hear on the TV. Then how do I know? And it's not me personally. I don't want to make it about me. Other people know the same story exactly to how people came down here and the rest of the story, which is even on tablets. It doesn't make sense to me why people don't. We all know the same thing. How do we all know the same facts from thousands and thousands of years ago?
Because maybe we all were there together.
Well, yes, that's a great possibility. But if you hear this and you hear someone, that's why people should talk about what they know.
Landmarks,
And I
things that were
believe
left
you know
behind,
this.
hieroglyphics, the pyramids, fossils.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but somebody wrote them.
Colosseum.
But how
The
is
question is who?
Well, I got
And why?
The people of the
Yeah,
time, no?
That's what everyone interprets now.
Well, the Bible has a few books missing, and it was interpreted and written by scholars and yada, yada, yada. But people will tell you that a lot of the Bible material was written to benefit the church.
Oh,
But nowadays, people have so many beliefs because there's the higher power. It's not even God or not even like Jesus or.
Do you believe there's a higher power?
I believe there's a
Yes.
higher power. I believe there's a spiritual world that we live in. I believe that all of us
So
are
then
put
here's the
on
$1
earth
million
for a
question.
mission.
Why are you here?
Because we all have a mission. Like there's
What is your
some-
mission?
I've discovered my mission. I had to go through a lot of trauma to be present now and to be.
But what is your mission?
smart.
To learn how to
I had
deal
to
in trauma?
learn how to accept acceptance of your story, of your life, of the pain, of the suffering, of the misery, and the happiness and beauty. So you just have to.
So you just
and
ask
do you accredit that to a higher power, or do you accredit that to yourself?
I believe that God has been faithful in my life, and I really do believe in God
you answered the
because
question.
there's no one else that I
Then
can.
you answered your own question.
I can give credit to.
You just answered your own question.
God.
So
You
what does
said
God
why.
really look?
There's your answer.
Why? But it's amazing how there's different messages coming from different experiences.
It's amazing, but you just answered your why. If you think about the question you're asking, why are you here? Why are this, and that? You just answered it. Did you hear what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So every time you have a question.
She's got, what I know of Karen, and we've become very friendly over a year or whatever, but she believes and she has faith. And with that open mind like that, you receive a lot. I truly believe that, because if you still, everybody receives, but not everybody knows what they're receiving. They have to believe that they're receiving. You have to be open-minded. Well, you don't have to do anything, but I believe you have to be open-minded.
Well, let me give you an example. Suppose we were put here by however, you could do religion, alien, whatever you want, whatever scientific knowledge. And they want you to believe that there is a higher authority. I'm not saying it's God, I'm not saying it's Jesus, I'm not saying it's anything. But if this higher authority comes down and says, listen, I put you here, would you believe it?
No.
Okay, time out, stop it right there. That's the reason why they don't show themselves. Do you understand?
I understand completely.
It's a question we ask as to why don't they show. You just answered it. Because they're going to be above you because they put you here.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to the story, which I believe that you know, Freddie. Yes, they do, because there are entities, let's say, because they could be from other planets, like here, that give us a certain amount of information. They give information that they want everybody to. They do it in a way so that it goes through the schools.
But will you accept the fact that these beings put you here?
You mean physically put us here?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were. I believe everybody was from another planet, actually, but that's going back thousands and thousands.
Yeah, you got to go back to who was put where, when.
Exactly.
But I'm not getting that complicated. I'm asking,
it becomes complicated in a way.
Would you accept the fact that alien life, some other life, is superior to ours, put us here?
Yeah, that's
You
part
would
of the
accept
story.
that?
That's part of the story.
Would you accept it?
It's part of the story.
I think there is part of it, and then I think
Right.
there's the other part that's
Exactly.
the human side of it, and somehow there's been this whole
Well, the
meshing
problem
of
is that no
parties.
one is going to reveal themselves to you until everybody sits on the same page and says,
Well, that's
okay,
never
come on
going to
down.
happen. Look, there are
It's
people
not
killing
because
each
they don't
other.
want to. That way you can be controlled.
Isn't there always a fight going on between men and women? Who has the more knowledge of who's Superwoman, Superman, and you have all this.
Don't get Freddie started on that.
Let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road.
No, but you have a lot of like different points of view.
Listen, it doesn't matter if it's man or women. Man can't even talk to man. Women can't talk to women. Right now, we can't get along with one another, no matter if we're the same species or
Well,
not.
they feel divide and conquer. Okay.
That is something that they said with the elections. Why was it, instead of United States?
Let's not go there either. Let's move on.
But if there's chaos, we're here to find the truth. Everybody is here to find the truth.
We want
It's
to know the
going
truth.
to create chaos
The
because
truth
we
will
don't
set you
believe
free.
in the word
Yes.
truth.
All right,
I think there's not one defined, definite
set
truth.
you
We all have
free.
our own truth.
There is
We're
no-
going to pick this up on Sally's show at
Yeah,
2:30.
let's
So
do that.
tune in
Yeah,
today at
tune in, 'cause
2:30.
this is
Call
really
me
good.
Zena.
This is
So more to come on Call Me Zena
time is it? I
today
can't
at
even
2:30.
see.
It's 1:45.
yeah, it's one.
I can't see. Somebody.
It says 144.
The truth of it is somebody turned the clock.
1:40.
To set you free.
Somebody else
I
turned
can't
off the
see
light.
Of all the things that we've done in this studio in the
That's
past
wrong.
week, that's the one thing that he notices is that clock is at a 90-degree angle, 45-degree angle instead of 180.
Because you can see it.
Yes.
You see, the truth is you can see it. I can't see
That
it.
proves the point. Dawn knows. Dawn knows a lot.
She knows
the
because she
difference.
can see it.
I know a lot more than I say.
I'm going to look at my phone there. I'm going to say, oh, look at the time.
There are no coincidences.
I love this subject
Yeah,
because
you
there's
do. I know
so
you do.
much.
You're going to stay for Sally's
Yes,
show.
she is,
Yeah,
yes.
But
She has a
before we get to
question.
Sally's show, you want to talk to our sales department.
Yes.
Abdullah, the light that is facing Brianna, I know you're trying to turn on it, might need fresh batteries because she's a little dark. So if it's not working, let's get some fresh batteries and pop them in
The batteries are
place.
still in the Studio B, right?
Yep.
The charging.
You might have to put your mic down.
Okay, I'm gonna try to.
See what happens when he's not here for a month?
He can't find the battery?
He can't walk and hold the mic at the same time. We got to get this fixed, all this fixed
So
up.
let's set up the next segment because we're talking about
your
our
brother?
salespeople.
Is it your
It's funny, there are people asking me now to be outside correspondents and everything else that these two
you both
crazies
That's true.
are
Crazies.
participating in.
You talking on
these are also, they have a double, she has a double win because she's also helping us set up the Latin network
So
that
that's
we're trying
also
to
gonna
establish.
happen. My daughter
And he is new to what we
so
do.
but-
Every time I run into this guy, we always bump heads because our schedules
How'd you
are
get
so
him here
different.
today? I thought
I didn't even know he was coming.
I just show up.
he showed up on
mess
Saturday. He
around.
helped me redo that whole sound booth situation, which was great.
Where Freddie went to get breakfast.
Yeah, I stopped by for an hour. Wasn't too
Well,
bad.
I was told that I wasn't necessary.
No one told you that. I guarantee you, hand to God, those words did not come out of anybody's mouth.
Well, God told me to tell you it did.
God told me to tell you.
That I can tell
God
you.
came through Sally and told.
Abdullah Jay's gonna help you.
It's going to fall, it's going to fall, it's going to fall. That battery's going to fall. It's not in.
Anyway, so the sales department is working. Oh, they're here, so we may as well chit chat with them while they're here.
Super happy there's two of us now. Happy to have Arthur here with me.
I'm excited to work. I'm really excited about what you guys do here, and I love this place, so I want to make it happen. We
Let
got a
there
new
be
light.
Arthur, what are you thinking of doing? How do you want to work within the studio?
To be honest, I want to bring a new perspective. I want to bring in the Brazilian crowd into what we do. As a native of Brazil, coming down to South Florida, there's a lot of opportunities here to reach out to that group of people. And I love my people, I love my culture, and I want to bring a piece of that into here, into this workplace. And like you said, we have Lucas too. He does websites with Enrique, and he's Brazilian too, so he could give us some insights. And just,
What do you see is different from the people of Brazil and your culture immersing here in the studio?
America is very myself. A lot of people are in pursuit of happiness, and some people may think that's helping others, and some people are very selfish, which isn't necessarily wrong. But when I talk to someone that's in need, my culture is to extend the hand, to push beyond the first initial, hey, are you good? Like, yeah, I'm okay. And then move on. It's to be like, hey, are you really okay? You want to spend 10 minutes talking? If not, that's okay. But it's just building connections and really getting to know someone on a personal level and helping people.
Building connections, building relationships.
And good food. Really good food.
And it's great because we don't have the Portuguese language. Well, now we do, but we didn't before have the Portuguese language on our team. So I'm doing as much as I can to get Spanish speakers on the show, but Portuguese is an area that I don't have the skills. So it's nice to be able to integrate a whole different language into our programming.
A lot of great different business ideas and different concepts, and he's a people person. He came, he helped me out. We did some work here in the studio, which was great. You guys are both here actually on Saturday, but you
Yeah.
flipped times.
Yes.
You weren't here at the
Yeah.
same time.
To be fair, I don't even know how I got this job, to be honest. I came in for a Christmas party. And I just came in. I liked the atmosphere. And then I got talking to Freddie and Dawn, and things just worked. And now
Well,
I'm
I
here
was
to
going up and down. I was on Federal Highway on Saturday. There's a new electric bike store, electric scooter store. Remember that show we did?
How could I forget?
Your elbow might still be hurting, I know. But there's some really cool new businesses. A lot of businesses are flipping over after the new year. A lot of things have gone out of business, very sadly, due to the economy. But then there's a whole nother group of businesses that are like, this is my year, this is my time, and they're starting up. So a lot of new things. It's interesting. It's like this balance. You see a lot of people going out, and people are texting me they lost their job after 12 years, and then I look across the street and there's another business popping up right in the same location. So a lot of cool places just to go in and say, let's do a shoot.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Also,
won't
I
put you on
think
the electric bike.
today, in today's society, a lot of people are motivated to start their own businesses or their own ventures. Whether it's someone who does eyelashes from their house, or like nowadays, the way that people create their own businesses is even more creative than before.
Oh my gosh, I was.
Everyone is discovering their talents. I feel like nowadays you see a lot of people who actually are in tune with themselves and they know how to educate based on what they know as well.
I'm going to go back to 10 because what she says is so important. I actually had a sponsor on a show that did eyelashes. And I ran into her again. And the problem is that when you do a one deal, you have to encompass that with more things. So you got to go to the whole face, even though all you do is the eyelashes. A lot of people don't understand. You have to enhance your product. You got to change your product. You got to make it sexy, and and you got to make it exciting. And you got to do it every month. And if you don't do it every month, somebody else is going to do it, and you're not going to get sales.
Yeah.
There is no magic pill. It takes work to do it. It takes work to do it over and over and over again. I mean, you take Sally. I had a conversation with Sally. She told me one day, I want Facebook. I want more numbers. Remember that conversation? And we did it. And then you had other issues because Beyonce put in a strike against your... I fight with that every month.
We will overcome.
But, you know, the content piece, and then we didn't take her content. I'm just telling you, with growth comes challenges.
Right, exactly.
Right? So what I'm excited about is the two of them jumping forward and creating some of the new things. And you are the one to blame for all of this. Of
course I am.
Oh.
She is.
Of course.
Because she's the one that created the foundation, even though I said no. She's the one that was successful at the party coming, which I thought nobody was coming. She's the one that has interchanged everything in here, because if Dawn listened to me, she would have been lost. She actually listened to herself and got it done. So that triggered this change. And we got to talk to her at FAU, and I said, come with me so we can build another empire.
Dawn's my hero.
Honey, she's my hero too. So now Lake Worth becomes a player. North Miami becomes a player. And there are 3 on the other side of Tampa, on that side, that are going to become players as well.
But it's about how we deliver the information. We can't just vomit, for lack of a better word, blah, blah, blah. Here's all the information, and then you think people are going to call your business. They need to understand. I was reading a book yesterday that before we had the way we put on false eyelashes now, which you think, oh, you just put a strip of glue on, you put them on easy. The dancers and the entertainers used to have to melt black wax and put the wax on their eyelids to attach it. So if you're going to do a show on eyelashes, why not go back to like the original Estee Lauders and go back to what eyelashes were and why, and the whole concept, and then deliver the information as to why we still want them. It has to be a concept, conceptualize what it is we're sharing, not selling, but sharing and educating. Because it's not up to us to sell those eyelashes. It's up to us to share the concept, and it's up to that business to close the deal.
And that's what we need to showcase in each new endeavor that we do. Lake Worth, what makes Lake Worth special? What we have here in Boca, what makes that special?
But that's where all of you and all these creatives come into mind, is if we're going to go to Lake Worth, then we need a piece on the history of that theater. We need a piece on the history of Lake Worth Beach. Why are we there? Not only the people that brought us there now, but what's the history? And is it revitalizing it? Is it keeping it cultural? Like if you look at Coconut Grove, it's all corporate now, so it's lost its feel. Delray on Atlantic, it's lost its hometown feel. But Lake Worth is keeping it, so that's a story in itself.
Well, Lake Worth is growing because of all the different identities. Lake Worth reminds me of the Village when I was in New York City.
Right.
Unbelievable.
The Village now has also lost its feel.
Well, the Village has, absolutely. But the Village now is in Lake Worth. I think a lot of good things can come from there. You got to constantly do the history of. You got to constantly change it and keep going.
But it means sending a crew out, even if it's for an hour, to get B-roll of a location. It doesn't have to be a whole shoot. Coming back, doing an interview or two, coming back, editing the piece, and putting it on the show. So it's got to be constant movement and constant growth. It can't just be stagnant, go to Lake Worth. Like, there has to be a call to action, and it's up to us to bring it forward visually and audio.
Well, I would have been there last week, except that there were a couple of elements in here that had to be approached.
The whole studio got rearranged.
Well, all sorts of things. Oh, there was all sorts of things going on in here.
And we got all sorts of, but we're narrowing it down. We're pretty close to where we want to be right now. We've got this area to clean up. We've got some wiring, but I think we're way closer than we were 7 days ago.
The awesome thing, you guys passed everything too, and that's
Amen.
Major. Like this is Disney here.
You know, the fire department said that. She said, this is a gem.
She did.
Would you include Mickey Mouse was here?
Always.
You weren't here that day.
It's Karen's. Karen. Abdul, you're looking the wrong way. Karen's is A4.
Is yours blocked?
No, she's not hooked up.
Oh, you're not hooked up?
But if I can add
Jay.
something.
Yeah, she unhooked. I guess she went someplace.
I had to get some more coffee.
The aliens.
She went to get more
Aliens are
coffee.
coming.
See, they're listening to sound. There you go.
But you know, it's really vital that you understand the concept of salespeople in our business, because they want to open up venues. Stop that! You're driving me crazy. They want to open up venues. They want to introduce networking concepts. They want to introduce people in our business. Now, eyelashes are bought by women. Guys don't buy eyelashes, do we? Do guys buy eyelashes?
If they're gay.
I haven't bought any personally.
Okay, so let's say the guys for the general do not, maybe 1 or 2%. That means you got a one-sided product. So you got to have something for men. That's what happened with Avon. Now they have men cologne and everything. They got everything. They got a whole line of men. I bought some. It's not bad. It's pretty good. So you have to understand what you're selling. You have to understand who you're selling it to. And you have to understand the impact of how to make it grow and go. I mean, I just love the challenge.
So a lot of good stuff.
Isn't the most important thing in this business too is education, like letting people discover themselves too. I feel like, you know, when people can communicate their
You got to teach people not to be afraid.
I also think it's the human interaction. It's the human story of what it is, of why Sally does what she does. Because there are psychics on every corner. You can drive up and down Glades Road or any street. You can find a psychic and a tarot reader sign.
Absolutely.
But what is the story? Why is Sally who she is? We have to really pay credence to her
Please,
story.
when you find out,
you
let me
tease
know.
her about the abductions and all of these things. But this is who makes her special and why was she chosen? You talk bloodlines and lineage. It's her story, and it's everybody's story.
And how we all end up in this room together.
You know how Steve and Sally came back together after 20 plus years. It's a story into itself. I know Freddie writes his condolences for being married 2 years, but the fact that you guys found each other again after, unfortunately, you both had tragedies in your life, right? And you came back together through that, and your bond is stronger than it ever was. So it's the human connection that I love of what we get to do.
And remember, it's not always a tragedy that brings people together. Sometimes it's just been done, and there's good times you meet people. I didn't meet you in the tragedy.
Truth.
Tragedy happened afterwards. But anyway, I didn't meet you in the tragedy. But the object of the game is that when you do meet certain people, whether it's marriage or whatever, you're working together, you take advantage of the fact that you have it in hand. Because you know, the one thing that's not guaranteed is time. And there you have that movie again.
Is that what
It's
Tan
time.
said? Take advantage of the time that you have.
That's right. And
I need to watch this movie because, I mean...
you got to watch it
I
because
gotta
it
watch
really explains what's going on in our life right now. How things are rapidly going, how things... You never notice that the weekend flies by now? I mean, what happened?
days
The weeks fly.
Fly.
Time is
Yeah.
speeding up, actually.
Time is speeding up.
It's our perception.
We don't, yes. It's
We're
They're
in the
speeding
beginning of 2025 now, and we're going to be like, what?
It'll be
We're
Christmas
already
soon.
Christmas? Like,
It'll be
how did
Christmas
that
soon.
happen?
That's
We
true.
When I was at
remembering this
NYU in 1989, I said 2025, I hope I live that long. Really? Really? I mean, think about it. You got to move. Your mind has got to move as fast as things around you just to break even. And if you want to get ahead, you have to think faster.
So nowadays, because we have AI and all this technology, is that what makes people smarter or more connected or more in tune?
It's the
with
I just
speed.
like AI. I feel like it takes people, like it takes the creativity away from people. You don't
Well,
have to think.
AI
Generative
AI does it for you.
Generative
was-
AI. That's the,
AI was put together with a human being, except that the machines think faster than we do. Because all of a sudden
it's a
we've
robot.
become 100 mile an hour. We want to do things 100 miles an hour. So now
I'm
you
that
have
way
AI
now.
that does it. What?
I'm that way now.
Well, you know, you're pretty rapid because you talk faster than speeding light.
Wow.
My stance on AI, like, I don't think, no, if you heard the news that some people are like against AI, mainly like people in creative fields, because they think their jobs are going to be taken.
Replaced?
Taken, but like.
But they are.
Honest, I think it's. I don't think. I feel like people are making the incorrect assumption that like they think AI is just generative AI. It's. Did you know that in the last, you know those Spider-Verse movies that AI was used to assist the animators in order to keep, the outlines consistent. So like.
It's how you use AI. Exactly what you're describing.
Yeah, like for example, I think audiences are not. I think people are smart enough to know that, like, they can't just use AI just to cheat their way. I think I don't think the trend of generative AI. I honestly, obviously Hollywood wants to use it so you don't have to pay writers, but I think that will fall flat on their face. They will have to go back to using actual writers and artists. It's just that I think they're going to be like, I think AI will be used to be able to assist artists, not to replace them.
Well,
it's a tool.
In the movie, Sally, the movie had robots.
I was just thinking that.
In
You read my mind.
2014, it was AI.
It was AI.
And it wasn't a robot.
That's right.
But and then when I went with my brother, may he rest in peace, to watch the Space Odyssey movie in 1972, they had AI.
Well, look at Star Trek also.
That's right. So this technology has been
It's
around.
been around, yes.
A long time. What's happening is they're using it now a different way. And that's all I got to say.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Welcome. New Year, 2025.
New year, same us.
Same us. It's
Same us.
not same us. It's you'll see everyone evolves here in the studio. Tune in today at 2:30 to Call Me Zena with Sally Barnard, talking extraterrestrials, aliens, and see what else the UFOs drop down here at Amp Media Studios. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
All weekend, we were saying.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.